Pembroke Pines, Florida, for Ball in the Pines 2.
Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm 61 years old and I took a nap and I'm half asleep. Hey, I love being transparent, bro, but it's a true honor to have Jose Luis Sanchez on my show, brother. First and foremost, welcome to the program.
And thank you for having me.
You know, young man, you're coming up quite quickly. You know, a lot of people say, well, he's 31, but you know what? Like we were talking about before we went live, age is just a number. So it's an honor to have you on my show, champ. You know, I look at your career and it's tremendous. Who would you say in the early days was the mentor, the guidance? I know you fight with your brother and you're from a boxing family, but in the early days, who was the one that brought you, Jose, to the sweet science, and who's the one that had you fall in love with it?
Well, growing up, I would see like Oscar De La Hoya and Chavez and Morales and other Mexican fighters. And I just love the sport. And so growing up, we started at Taekwondo and then we did kickboxing. But whenever we were doing kickboxing, it was at a boxing gym. So we slowly moved into the boxing, and I loved it. I fell in love, and I've been doing it since then, for like 15 years. I was small when I started.
Yeah. What does it mean to come up in the sport with your brother? Because you're both tremendous fighters. I mean, a lot of fighters have to walk this path alone, but you get to walk it with your brother. How gratifying is that for you?
That's awesome. Like, cause just we work together. I see him fight and it motivates me. Like I see him whenever we go fight, and it's tight. He's fought for a world title, and that I want to get there too. So it's just we motivate each other, running, training, and we help both out. So we work together too, sparring. So it's good for both of us.
Yeah, keep each other motivated. Now, you have the North American Boxing Federation Junior Welterweight title. You know, you just won that in May of last year against Shahid. What did that moment mean to you in your career? Because, you've been fighting the best lately.
Well, I train hard, so I had just won, and then they told me that opportunity came up, so we took it and just trained hard. And I was happy for winning that bout. I was like getting a step closer and getting seen by bigger promoters, which did happen. And then I got that Eric Tudor fight with Golden Boy. So it was good for me and for the promoters that were watching me.
Yeah. Well, you made a statement that again, the Tudor fight, it was an old man fighting a young boy, and what led you to make that statement? Because I think it's tremendous. It's true, but what led you to make that statement?
Just all the hard work, and I put in the gym, so I knew I had to go in there and win good, or else they'll give it to him because he's the A side. So I trained really hard, and I got the win.
Well, I think that fight, the greatest thing about it is, you hit him so many times that you impaired his vision later in the fight. Did you know that you had impaired his vision enough to take the fight?
Well, I didn't know his vision was. I didn't know, but I did. I felt like I was hurting him when I was hitting him, and like I would see I was hurt. But I felt like if I just kept the pressure a little bit, I felt like I could have stopped him. But it was. I did go the 8 rounds, so it was good though because I got the 8 rounds experience too in the book.
Yeah. It's always good to get that experience. So I'm gonna go to a couple comments real quick, if you don't mind. A brother of mine, they call him Little Holmes. He's a good friend of Larry Holmes. He says, "Hello, Don and Champ." And then another brother of mine from Atlanta, Giovanni Galvanzoni, says, "Much respect, Jose." And Raimundo
Nice. Thank
Osorio
you.
says, "Vamos, Guero."
Nice.
And then Paul Driscoll says, "A young 31." You bet he is. And then he also says, "Salvador Sanchez." That's your brother, correct?
No, that was a world champion. It's one of the old fighters. My brother's Jason Sanchez.
And then my grandfather, Artie Lamparella, says hello to everyone on the show. And then Ramon, the show wouldn't have happened without him. And Robert Hernandez, he says 14-3, world champion rising. And then Paul Driscoll
Thank you.
says legend. What's it like now? Because your whole world has changed. Now you got the opportunity to fight with a top-ranked Golden Boy. You're getting some A-list fighters now. What does it mean to get this attention on your walk, Luis?
I mean, that's what I've been working for. So I mean, finally all the work's paying off. So I mean, it's great. That it's like a dream coming true.
Yeah. I started in boxing 40 years ago, and back then you had to fight 20, 25 fights to get an opportunity to have some of the biggest moments in your career. I'm glad the sport's kind of evolved because it gives opportunities to young warriors like you to come out there and improve yourself time and time again. Now you got guys that are getting world title shots, 9 fights in, 12 fights in, 13 fights in. How relevant is that for you at the age of 31? Some people would say you're at the end of your career, but as you and I talked about, you're at the peak of your career on your walk. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right. I feel like I'm in my prime right now. I feel strong. I feel like all these guys that I see fighting my weight, and I mean, I could beat them. I see tapes, and I'm like, I could beat all these guys. So I'm just gotta work hard, and whoever it is, I'm ready. And
Yeah. Take me back to your first fight with Guy Yule. You look over your shoulder now, and you look back at that first fight. How far would you say you've come, Jose, since that first opportunity, that first ring walk?
I mean, it's been nice because, well, I mean, that fight, it was a lot different from the amateurs. My first one, I remember I felt like the gloves were small. So, I mean, I adjusted that from that first one. And then, I mean, like the fights now compared to that one, it's nice because now they're televised and everyone gets to see me and stuff. So, I mean, that's a big for me.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, sit back and they want to get to know the fighter. And I think it's a tremendous path that you've created for yourself. What does boxing truly do for you? Like we already talked about, you get the opportunity with your brother, but what does boxing truly mean to you in your heart? Why does it keep you here? What keeps you motivated? And what makes you want to become a world champion?
I just love the sport, and I mean, keeps me in shape. So, I mean, I love to work out, to go run. So, I mean, I get to travel, and I mean, it's nice, and then you get paid.
He said, and then get paid.
Yeah,
You know, you
you get
go
paid for
ahead.
something you love to do. So, I mean, that's nice.
You beat one of the best in the business, but you also, because I don't consider losses, I don't consider them losses. I consider them lessons. What lesson did you take from the Xander Zayas fight moving forward?
I learned a lot from that fight. I mean, it didn't go my way, but I mean, it did. I mean, I learned. I felt like just I just saw my mistakes. I worked on them, so to not do them again. And I mean, it's just it helped me a lot.
Yeah. You know, you've been kind of branching out from the Sanchez brother gym. You know, what other new gyms have you been going to, and how much has that added to your path, getting all that ring time with other fighters?
Um, like what other gyms I've been to? What do you, like for the sparring?
No, yeah, for sparring sessions. I know you've branched out from, you know, the Sanchez brothers boxing to, and you've gone to other gyms. What have you taken away from those other gyms, Mijo?
Um, just I mean, there's great gyms here and just good sparring.
I mean, have you had the opportunity to spar with other world champions? Yeah.
Oh, well, for my last fights, no, just here at the gyms. I mean, they're there. I mean, I sparred at Arlene's gym. They have some UFC fighters there, top, some tough guys. And my brother, I didn't really go travel too much for the sparring. Just the people here in New Mexico. But I mean, they're great, great work.
Yeah. You know, even though that fight didn't ultimately work out your way, how was it for you to be on the biggest card of your life, on the Shakur Stevenson card? What did that walkout? Take me to that walkout. What did it mean for you to walk out and see all those people and get that opportunity?
I mean, it was nice. That's like like say it's a dream come true. It's like that's what I mean. That it's like fighting at the MGM, like a big arena. It was not. It was a sold out event. So, I mean, when you're walking out, it's. I mean, you feel it's nice. It's just a feeling. And then when you're fighting, it doesn't matter. It's just you and him. But just going, I mean, just I would say go when I'm walking in to go to the locker room. It hits you. I mean, you see the billboards and you're there, and I mean it's so good. Feels great.
Yeah. Uh, a bare knuckle fighter that I know, his name is Chris Shaggy Gonzalez. He says best part is when you have that support before a fight. Nothing like that feeling that nothing can break you. Would you say the same is comparable for you?
Yeah, I mean, and well, I have my family, my brother, my dad. You know, I always get the support. And it's nice. You know, you know you put in the work, and they know they believe in you. So it's just you go in there and like you could do it. You're ready to win.
Angela Hernandez says all the best. Now you're coming off one of the biggest wins of your career, the Tudor fight. You know, that's a monumental moment for you. It got you a 3-fight deal with Golden Boy. You're with Golden Boy. Who would you like to face next? Because that was a one hell of a win.
Yeah, no, yeah, thank you. Well, for my next fight, I'm gonna go down to 147. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm ready to fight whoever they want me to fight.
Yeah. Paul Driscoll out of Canada says, "Have you ever got the opportunity to meet the WBC president Mauricio Solomon?"
I haven't.
You know,
No.
boxing is a very rigorous sport, and you know, looking at your career, it's tremendous. You know, I think you got a lot of talent. That was one of the reasons why I agreed to have you on the show tonight. I apologize that, you know, there's not much out there about you except for what we see on television. You know, the internet is kind of confusing sometimes, but you know, Golden Boy is a big opportunity for you. And you know, with the sport moving to Saudi Arabia, how much more pressure do you feel on you to step your game up now and keep your career here instead of overseas?
I mean, I mean, it doesn't really matter where I fight. I mean, I like to fight, so travel, to get to know places. But I mean, wherever the fight's at, it's okay for me.
Yeah. You know, I used to manage Jackson Wink out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's a great place to be. The elevation is great and it's pretty dry. Would you say that gives you a benefit over most fighters coming from the West Coast or the East Coast?
I think so. Because when you do go fight somewhere else, I mean, your conditioning is better, and I mean, you feel better over there when you're fighting. So, I would say, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people come over here for that, for the running, for the training out here. They do their camps and then they go fight. So I mean, it does help me out.
Yeah. One of these days, you could probably end up fighting on the same card as your brother, huh?
I mean, I would love to have my brother and me fight in the same card.
That would be pretty. That'd be pretty cool. Take me back when you were a young man. What was it like coming up in the sport of boxing? And like you talked about MMA and the other aspects that you did. What was it like coming up, and what ultimately led you, primarily to the sweet science?
So well, like I said, we started in kickboxing. I mean, taekwondo, kickboxing, and then I started boxing. So, well, growing up, my dad used to, well, he used to make sure like when we started, he used to always make sure we were at the gym. And whenever the gym was closed, we would train at home. So we would always train hard to fight. So I had a lot of amateur experience. I had over 100 amateur fights. So we were always, me and my brother would always go to the nationals. I would always win like first four, I mean, 3, 4 fights. I never won the national, but I would make it far.
Yeah.
And it
You
was
know,
just great experience.
when you fought Granados, I thought that was the first true test of your career. Would you say that the fight with Granados was the first true test that they gave you on your walk?
It was, it's just, it was in it was a big event. So it was an Andy Reese undercard. So it was just something new to me. So I was a little nervous, just not for the fighting, but just like because I knew it was going to be televised and it was a big. I don't know. I was just, but it was a great year. I felt like I beat them too. They gave it a draw. I was the underdog, like I think it was like 9-1 underdog. So, but they gave it a draw.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm a little confused on because they even had you as the underdog in the Tudor fight, and you're always the underdog. How much harder or how much of a chip does that put on your shoulder when they say you're the underdog going into an opportunity?
So I mean, we just train hard, because we know them taking us as an underdog. We even know if it's close, they'll give it to the person. So just go in there, train hard, and just leave it. So I'm not trying to knock him out or just not so he could win clear. So I mean that's the thing about being the underdog. You just train hard.
Yeah. Well, we talked about a little bit before we went live because I'm transparent, and I asked you what were your thoughts about your mother and your brother leaving you and your dad in the UK, when you went over there to quarter his fight. What was it like when they left you there, you and your father? Did you really think that they were going to leave you there, brother?
Um, no, I knew it was gonna just. It was a matter of time, but the thing that did suck, it was just that I was dieting, and I still had to like run, train, because I had my fight coming up. So that's I would say that's the only thing that kind of sucked, just being in training while being stuck out there. But I knew it was just gonna be a matter of 2, 3 extra days.
Yeah. Now that you beat Tudor, would you like an opportunity to reface Sanders Ayas?
I would love to fight him again. But my next 2 fights, I want to do because I could do 147. I mean, I'll fight 47, 54, but I want to do my next few fights at 47, and then whenever I do go, if I do get the opportunity, I would fight him. I mean, I gotten a lot more experience. I feel stronger. I mean, it'll be a good fight.
Yeah. What does it mean to have, excuse me, getting old, getting old here, bro. What does it mean to have somebody like Robert Hernandez Jr. in your corner pushing for you, trying to get you opportunities? I mean, it seems like you have a lot of people that want to see you truly be successful, but what does it mean to have him as one of the mentors in your life?
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, thanks to him, I got the deal, and I mean, I just let's thank him for giving me this he gave me the opportunity, and I took it. And I mean, so we got great things coming up.
What type of, I know your father has had a talk with you, your brothers had a talk with you. What type of knowledge have they given you to help you come up and create your own walk in the sport?
Um, well, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
What knowledge have they passed on to you, brother?
Oh, like one sec. What kind of knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, what advice? What have they
Yeah, yeah,
taught you the mistakes not to make coming up?
yeah, yeah. Well, because my dad's always said, it's just boxing is just it's a short thing. So do the best I can, and later on, if I want to do stuff, but I could do, but just them keeping me, I guess, focused and just not for me. Oops, sorry.
Oh, you're all right, brother. What I'm getting at, is it easier to have your father like he is instead of having like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney's father always up in the mix trying to control your career, not let you fight your career? How great of a feeling is that your father let you, step up and be the man that you are?
Oh, I mean, it's great because yeah, I mean, we both talk. He lets me. I mean, whenever I have they offer me a fight, he sometimes leaves it up to us. If we tell him, yeah, we'll take the fight, and he believes in us, and yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Michael Weaver says, yo, in peace. And then Ramon Emiliano Estrada, a man that helped put this show together, he says, Roberto Hernandez Jr., best of the best matchmakers. He
Yes.
obviously is,
Yeah,
he's
I mean, he is.
building your guys' career. What words of thanks would you like to say to him for the help that he's given you and your brother?
Oh, just a big thank you. And it's for him. I got this deal, and take advantage of it and go out there and
How does it feel now that, I mean, because you fought two of the most tremendous fighters at in your weight class. Now the world's taking notice of who you are. How much pressure is on you, or is there any pressure on you at all that now that you're getting recognized worldwide?
I mean, I don't. Well, I don't think I don't feel like there's that much pressure. It's just keep working hard and hopefully get that rematch or just get big names. I mean, it's nice, but there's no. Just keep working hard.
Yeah. Who put that work ethic in you, Mil?
My dad and my brother, they push me. They motivate me to and just them believing. So it keeps me going.
Yeah. With all fighters, sometimes we have to fight our friends, sometimes we have to fight our idols on our walk. How hard will it be for you, Jose, to face your idols, because one day your idols will become your rivals. How hard would that be?
I mean, that'll be a cool thing, to fight somebody that you looked up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I want to fight somebody like that. It'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Shaggy says, I definitely have the championship mindset. You do, and you don't got to be nervous to be on the show, bro. I'm just
Yeah.
another person. Just make it like a casual conversation because, it gets a little hard on me when you get nervous because then you just you get real short in your questions. Just take it as
All
a
right.
as
All
a
right.
regular talk, bro. We're two homies sitting in the gym just having a talk. You bring up your mother and your father a lot. How hard is it for you to perform in the ring with your mom and your father at an event? Does it add any more, distraction to you, or are you comfortable with them being there watching you fight?
No. Whenever I'm fighting, I don't worry about anything. I'm in there and just listening to my corner. I mean, like all the what is the other people there watching the fight. I mean, I don't worry about anything. Just going in there and getting that win.
Yeah. Ramon wants to know who are your top 5 old school fighters?
I like Chavez Jr., Mike Tyson. I would say Salvador Sanchez. He's good.
Yeah.
And Johnny Tapia and the last one, Oscar De La Hoya.
This, this is a group of fighters. It's crazy. I'm going into nationals this April, and I told you before we went live, but I'm just sitting there like a little fangirl, knowing that I'm going in with Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones Jr., Marco Antonio Barrera, and of course Eddie Futch and Arturo Gatti are gone, but Zepeda's going in. It's just like this. I sit back and I go, man, I'm just a photographer. How did I get here? But when you put 40 years in the sport of hard work and determination, it gets you far. You put all these years in, and now you're finally starting to see the return of all the hard work. What does it truly mean to you, Mijo?
I mean, it's nice, and I mean, it's a dream come true. I'm getting closer and closer to getting that world title. The doors are opening every after each fight. So I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's your career is tremendous, and the one thing I love about your career already is you've already fought 2 of the best in your weight class and 2 of the best in the world. I take me. I know we talked about it a little bit, but take me to the Tudor fight. What was it like sitting in the back waiting for your name to be called? What was going through the head and the heart of Jose Sanchez?
Well, I knew I put in all the hard work, like all the running, um all the training. I was just ready and waiting to put in a good show. We knew that I could beat him, so I was just waiting. It was nice.
You know, take me back to the Joe Gomez fight because I think it's another fight that was an opportunity for the world to see you. You went in there against a veteran, and you came out victorious. What did that moment mean to you? Because each one of these are a stone that you lay down on the path of Jose Sanchez that built you to the man you are today. So, what did you take away with that fight with Gomez?
Well, when I fought him, I knew it was going to be a really tough fight. So I mean, I'm there, and so and he's been in there with some tough guys too. He's in there with the Pedro Angulo, and he beat he's fought in a few of the top guys here in Albuquerque, and he did good. So I knew it was going to be a really tough fight. So whenever I went in there, and I mean, I ended up stopping him, but he was a tough guy, and it was a great experience, and I knew I was ready to for tougher fights, move up and travel because it's hard to just get fights here in New Mexico. So you have to either you take the tough fights or you don't fight. So I mean that's what we did.
Yeah, especially in your weight class in boxing, there's not too many chumps in your weight class anymore. Everybody's pretty much pretty articulate on their walk. You know, what was it like for you to get signed to Golden Boy? Take me to that moment when you got the phone call that you were going to be signed to a multi-fight deal.
Um, I wasn't expecting it. I was training, and then my dad told me he's like, "Hey, they want you to fight a 3 deal," and I was like, and then he told me the opponent, and I looked him up. I was like, I mean, he undefeated guy, so we're like, I mean, I know I could take any of these undefeated guys, so I mean, it was just, I mean, it was great, It's like all the hard work paid off, and
What is the greatest moment that you hold in your heart from your career? What moment on your path has meant the most to you?
um, just whenever I'm fighting, when they hold my hands up, after winning, that's I would say that would be one of the greatest moments, winning, having my family there. And yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be tremendous winning a fight in front of your family. I was never on that side of it, so I get to live
Mm-hmm.
vicariously through somebody like you. You know, I look at the interview that I did with Jerry Cooney, and he talks about that boxing was one of the hardest parts and hardest walks of his life, but it was also his greatest love. Would you say that it's been one of the hardest parts of your walk, but your greatest love at the same time, like Jerry Cooney?
Yeah, it is. It is because there's a lot to it. I mean, it's tough. It's a really tough sport. So, um, just I would say like cutting weight. There's just, I mean, it's tough. But I mean, then at the end of the day, I do. I mean, I love it. It's nice.
All that hard work when you get your arm raised, it makes it worth it, don't it?
It does. It really does. It's the best feeling getting your hand raised.
You know, you've gotten a lot of attention lately since your last fight, and the world is looking at you. What would you like to say to all the people that are now showing you respect, that are now following you, that are now fans of yours? What would you like to say to them in words of appreciation moving forward?
You know, well, thank you. You know, as me. Oh, no. Well, I just want to thank them. You know, it makes me keep working hard. You know, and I mean, anything's possible. You just work hard, and I mean, the results are there. So, so anyone doing anything, boxing, whatever, just work hard, and I mean, anyone could do it.
What would you like to say to your father for giving you the opportunity to be the young man you are today? Because, ultimately, he's the one that's created you and he's built you and your brother up. What would you like to say to your father in a word of thanks for creating who you are today in the sport?
I would want to thank my dad. He's the one that put us in the sport. If it wasn't for him, I mean, I don't know what I'd be doing. And he was a boxer too. So growing up, and I mean, he knew since we were small, he believed in us, and just having him there, we kept pushing, and he turned pro. I mean, it's great having him there with me.
In your opinion, you want, like you said, you want to be a world champion. And in your opinion, what type of opponent are you going to have to fight next to keep the hype going? I mean, because you are coming off the Tudor fight, who do you think is going to amplify your career that much more on your next opportunity?
Well, I would have to fight somebody. I mean, I would have to fight for another bout or somebody that's ranked, take their spot, um, and slowly get up there, and get that world title shot.
Do you have any names that are sitting in your heart, bro?
Um, there's a. I'm not sure. I mean, who's the ones that have that Lexus Rocha? He had just fought somebody. He just lost one. Well, I mean, there's that bout. I think his name's Giovanni. He's at 147, and then
Yeah.
there's like Raul Curiel. He's a tough guy. I mean, I would like to fight him. There's a few guys that whoever has the bout. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I would like to fight them, take their
I,
spot, and then move on and hopefully get that title shot.
I think you're far on your way getting there, bro. I mean, you look at your career; it's been tremendous. You're coming off of 3 wins, and it's great because to see you grow with this sport and to be able to hang with some of the top fighters in your weight class, it's something that not many can do. I mean, I'm proud of you, Mijo, because you look at
Thank
the
you.
sport. It's a tough industry, but you young fighters that are coming up in the sport now have a tremendous amount of ability. I look back, like I said, I'm from the golden era, so I watch the change in the sport, and I watch how you've come up, and man, you got a heck of a walk. What does it mean to you when you sit back and you look over your career? How proud of are you of yourself for what you've accomplished?
Um, I'm really proud. I mean, I just look back, I see all the stuff that I have done, and I mean, it feels great, you know. And then having my brother, and it just, I know I could do better and stuff. So I just keep working hard. See my brothers, and from all, like, my brother sees all everything that's going on, so it makes him work hard too, you know. So it just pushes us.
Yeah. How hard does your dad get in that rear end when you're in the gym?
What was that?
How hard does your dad get on you when you're in the gym?
Oh, he gets on me, especially when I'm in fight, like doing a fight camp. He really pushes me, and for the training. Um, for my last, I've been doing my strength conditioning with my brother, so that's something I added. We just without I did the strength conditioning. I mean, it's good.
Yeah. Well, see, you look at your career. Yeah, you have some blemishes, but like I said, the last three have been victories for you. And the Tudor fight, everybody wants to call that the biggest moment of your career, and I really don't think it was. I think your fight with Xander Zayas, even though you didn't come out victorious, I think that fight taught you and gave you the tools that you needed to move forward in this sport and to fight against better competitors. Would you say that that's a fair assessment moving forward?
Um, that's I'm sorry.
Would you say that the Zayas fight, prepared you, for the fights that, came after that? Would you say that you learned a lot enough to move forward after the Zayas fight?
Yes, I did. I learned a lot from that one. And just seeing Sander, like I mean, I went in there, I fought, I went all rounds, and I would see him fight. After my fight, he fought because he kept fighting consistently, so he was knocking out all these guys. And I mean, I know I could hang in there, so I mean, so I just kept training harder and harder, and to get the to get I mean, I'm sorry, to get a fight and stuff. So I knew I could hang in there with the big dogs.
You pretty much are, brother.
Yeah.
Giovanni Gavanzoni says, "Let your pop get his lean on. He's a good man, much respect." Basically, what he's saying is, take the advice and the words from your father because your father knows best. Let the old school teach the new school. You
Yeah.
know, how hard is it for someone like yourself? Because you are fighting fighters that have been here for a minute. You're fighting fighters that, like in the Tudor fight, and other people. You're fighting fighters that are older than you. How hard is it for you to go into the ring with a grown man or somebody that has a 9-year age difference against you?
Like going in with the older people or younger and stuff.
That are older than you. The more seasoned. The fighters that have been around longer. How hard is it for you to go in there against them?
Um, well, I feel like what each opponent is. I mean, I don't really I look at their age or anything. I just go in there and just to go in there and fight and get the win. I don't worry about if they're older or younger.
Yeah. Because, Tudor, the reason I bring it up, because like we talked about earlier, Tudor had a 7-year difference on you, but you went
Hmm.
in there and you pieced them up. You didn't
Yeah.
realize how much you damaged his eyes, but later in the fight, he
Yeah.
couldn't see, and it ultimately, gave you the decision. You know, if you had known that his vision was impaired, would you have put the heat on earlier to try to take him out before the end of the fight?
I would have attacked more. I would have probably attacked more of the eye, and since I knew it was her, I would have just attacked him more and try to hurt make more damage.
Yeah. You
But
know,
I was just fighting I would say a smart fight. I didn't want to get caught either going in there and just getting crazy.
yeah. The road is a vast place for you. You've proven to the sport that you belong here. You've proven to, Golden Boy, that you belong here. What does it mean to you now that pretty much you can call the shots, but the sport is your opportunity to to shine. What does it mean now that you have stability and you're fighting on the biggest promotions? You fought on Top Rank, you're fighting for Golden Boy now. What are those moments? What have they meant on the walk of Jose Sanchez?
Um, so I mean, it's great. I mean, for me, it's just a dream come true, and it's amazing. It's amazing seeing and just knowing that everyone's watching me. While I mean, it's a great feeling.
What would you like to say to other young and up and coming fighters? What advice would you give them about chasing your dreams, following your dreams? Because now you're ultimately living your dreams.
Just for them to keep working hard. I mean, they'll get opportunities, and I mean, just take advantage of them. And sometimes there's a lot of people that just they don't go out of they don't travel to fight because they're scared. But just if they're good, just keep working hard, travel, fight, and I mean, you'll get your opportunity. Dreams do come true.
Well, you're proof of it, young man. You're proof of it. You
Yeah.
know, what's downtime like for Jose Sanchez? I know you train all the time, but what's it like to take a day off from the gym?
It's nice. I mean, I have a daughter, so I take whenever I'm off. I like taking her out too. So spend time with my daughter when I'm not at the gym.
Is that, ultimately, so if you look at it, you want to be a world champion. So this is truly for your family, since your family is a fight family. This is made for and bought for by the family. This is what you truly want to do it for, is your family, correct?
For my family, yes.
And young man, I've watched your fights and you impress me. The ability that you have, the punching power that you bring to the ring, just the talent. Every fight that I watch, you keep getting better and better and better. And your heart and the dedication that you give to the sport is second to none. Other than your father and Robert Hernandez, who would you say has been one of the most prevalent mentors on your walk?
My brother. I would say my brother. So
What
them.
would be the greatest advice he's given you?
Um. Well, he tells me just to work hard, and because we only have a like boxing is not forever, so we only have like a few years, and just to take advantage of that. I mean, that's probably the best advice he's given me.
Yeah. Oh man, this is awesome. Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame with me in April. WBC world renowned Stephen Blee says, awesome interview, upcoming contender. What would you like to say to Stephen Blee, such a man of integrity?
Oh no, thank you. Um, I work hard, and thank you.
And Stephen, I'll see you in April, brother.
Nice,
It's
nice.
it's still surreal. I mean, man, I didn't get into this sport to become a Hall of Famer. I got in the sport to give back to the fighters and to give people opportunities. So it's kind of weird for me to get opportunities back. I'm like you, man. I'm humble. I'm not
Mhm.
used to it. I rather just go with my camera and do my thing. But you know, this is one moment that I really am proud because it put my family's name into history. What
Nice,
would it be
nice.
like for you to put your family's name in the history books?
I mean, that'll be tight. I mean, and then for my daughter to see that, I mean, it'll be great. I mean, it'll be something that I would want to do.
Well, you're already on that path, brother. You're already starting that. So, you know, cherish every moment because every opportunity is something special. A lot of people they say, "Oh, well, I'll get another chance." Well, a lot of times that second chance doesn't come. And your career it's been tremendous, man. It's like I know you wanted the outcome to be different on the Xander Zayas fight, but you know what? I look at those like I told you earlier. I don't look at it as a loss. I look at it
Mhm.
as a lesson. and as long as you take that lesson and learn from it, then the next time you make an outing, you're already going to know what mistakes not to make. Paul Driscoll says, "A dream come true, make it happen." What would you like to say to Little Holmes about your dream? What does your dream truly mean to you, Jose?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's like it's for me, for my family. So I mean, it's awesome.
It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and perseverance to be where you're at in this sport. You know, a lot of people quit. A lot of people don't stay and commit like you have. How hard is it for you on those days that they're really rough and you're getting your butt lit up in the gym? How hard is it for you to stay in there and keep going? Because ultimately that's what makes you persevering through those hard days. How hard is it for you to make it through those types of days to get forward?
I mean, it's hard, but you have people looking up to you, and I mean, you can't give up. So you just gotta keep working hard, and I mean, just keep pushing. I mean, and then opportunities will come if you keep working hard.
Well, you're proof of hard work, and you although you only got 18 bouts, you sure have made a name for yourself, and you're sure showing the world what dedication truly is. You know, I wish I could shake your father's hand, because what he's done with you and your brother is phenomenal. You guys are both showing the world what it's like to truly be on top. You know, I know you got 3 fights. We don't you don't have anything that's coming up. But if you had to, brother, if we talked about it a little bit earlier, but if there was one person in particular that you could have in the ring in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, who would that be?
Um, I mean, there's a few people in there. I mean, that I would want to fight. I mean, obviously, I would go for the for a world title, but I mean, you have to fight somebody. Um, I don't know. I would like to fight. I would say like Mario Barrios or well that's somebody I would love to fight later on. I mean, if I do get an opportunity.
Yeah. Well, you're creating the opportunities for yourself, young man. You're going out there and you're showing the world that you deserve to be in the sport of boxing. And I'm honored to have you on the show. I know you're a little nervous, and
Yeah.
you don't got to be nervous with me, bro. It's okay.
Mhm.
The next time you come on, we'll be a little bit better. You won't be so nervous. But I love these opportunities because see, you might be nervous now, but 3, 4 years from now, when you're a
Yeah.
world champion, then you'll remember this moment, and you come back on the show, and we'll both have memories to share. You know,
Yes.
you you're creating a great walk for yourself. And honestly, there's not that many great fighters that come out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, that are great. But you and your brother are showing the world that Albuquerque is on the map. What's it like to walk down the street of Albuquerque? Do they notice you, homie? Do they know who
Yeah.
you are?
No, they do. Anywhere I go, um, there's somebody that knows me. They'll say hi or just anywhere I go, that I have people that recognize me, um, and they say, well, they see my fight and they go shake my hands. But yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, I gotten a lot from my, I would say from my 3 past fights.
Yeah.
The people that are into boxing, yeah, and just the social media, I think it's a big thing, that's how like everyone knows too. The paper, like just when I fought Tudor, I was in the newspaper, I was in uh, the TV, so and people see me, so yeah, they recognize me.
If I give you a little bit of advice because it was passed down to me, Stitch came up to me one day and told me because he's seen me turn down a picture, he's seen me turn down autographs, and he told me, don't ever let me see you do that again. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, don't ever turn down a picture. He said, you know, those are the people that made you. So the only advice that I can give you is the people that ask for your autograph, the people that ask to take a picture with you, do it because those are the people that truly have created you and that believe in you and follow you in the sport. I was a pendejo at one time. I just thought I was going to work. Because I still to this day don't understand why people want to take a picture with me. But you, on the other hand, you know, you've created one hell of a name for yourself in such a short period of time in this sport. You know, don't ever turn down a fan because those are the people that believe in you. Those are the people that pay the $120 to $1,000 to come see you fight. You know, what would you like to say to those people that are now following Jose Sanchez, that are now believing that you will become a world champion? What would you like to say to those people that believe in you?
No, thank you for believing. You know, I mean, it feels great just having people believing, and I mean, just keeps me working hard and just to show them, you know, like that I could do it, and it's nice.
You know, I'm so proud of you, brother. I really am to see your career jump up the way that it has and to have the people like, you know, Robert and others believe in you. It's like in Ramon and everybody around, you know, the West Coast and to the Midwest is talking about you. And they, you know, I got the opportunity. They asked me would I bring you on the show, and I know it's kind of nerve wracking to come on these things
Mhm.
because you're not used to it and you get a little nervous. But trust me, the next time you come on, it'll be all right, man. You
All
don't got to
right.
be afraid to come on the show, man. I get like you do sometimes too. It's
Hmm.
like people don't, you know, people think it's just easy. They say, "Oh, it's just a conversation." Well,
Yeah.
when there's, you know, when there's all these people watching and you don't know it, it kind of gets to you. But you know, I think your future is going to be bright. You know, and I think coming off the Tudor fight, I think the world is yours. You know, I think that was one of the greatest opportunities thus far. I mean, look at you're getting on the big cards now. The world is starting to take notice. Be proud of yourself. You're the one that,
Hmm.
you
Right.
know, you created that, brother. You created that moment. You've created this momentum. You're the ones that is winning these fights. Go out and show the world who Jose Sanchez is. You know, because I believe in you, and everybody that's watching this right now believes in you. You know, I can't wait until they announce your next fight, and we'll get you back on here, and maybe you won't be so nervous, you know, because
All
then you'll
right.
know me by then. But you know, I got one more question I'm going to ask you, and I like to ask everybody this question. You know, it's the end of the night, and you're getting ready to leave the gym. You're the only one there, and you go to turn the light off, and for a moment, you get a brief reflection into who you are. Who do you see in the mirror? Who is the man in the mirror to Jose Sanchez?
Um, I see I see myself as a champion. You know, I just um you know.
Don't be nervous, Mijo. Just say what you feel.
No, I mean, I feel. I mean, I just feel great. You know, of how far I came, and all the stuff I done, all the hard work with my dad, my brothers. You know, I just feel good.
Does it feel surreal to you? Can you believe you're here?
Yeah, you know, it does feel like, you know, it feels great, and then just for just my daughter, and I feel great for everyone.
Yeah. I think Paul Driscoll says it right. He says self pride.
Yeah.
You know, it's see, I think you're nervous because you know you're humble. You know, and humility is a great thing to have when you're a fighter. And even Chris Shaggy Gonzalez says, you know, it's pride. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing to be shameful in pride, bro. It's just sometimes humility is the better part of us, and you know, don't ever lose your humility. Don't ever lose who you are because that's what makes us great. You know, humility is the greatest aspect of a warrior and of a man on any walk. You know, before I let you go here, you know, the world is watching you and they believe in you. What would you like to say to the world of boxing for the support, the love that they show you? What would you like to say to them in a word of thanks?
Thank you, and I'll keep working hard for them. You know, put in good. I'll train hard, put in good fights. So, I mean, just thanks for the support, for just being a fan, watching. I mean, I'm on Facebook on Guero Sanchez, on Instagram, same Guero Sanchez 505. You know, so they can follow me and just keep working hard for them.
You know, brother, keep doing this, but keep doing it for your family. Do it for the right reasons. You know, you're creating history right now. You're creating a legacy, but you know, you're creating you know, this opportunity for your daughter. You know, because this will be on the internet forever. You know, I don't take my stuff down, but what does it mean? You know, we already talked about it, but what would it mean for you to give your daughter to hand her the world championship belt? What would that moment mean to you?
I don't know. I mean, everything to me. I mean, it's a dream come true there, and then having my daughter there. I mean, and my family, my dad. I mean, that'll be awesome. That'll be a great accomplish if I to do that.
I believe in you, mijo. I think you will. You know,
Mm.
it was an awesome opportunity and an honor for me to have you on the show tonight. I'm going to toss the microphone to you. If you have any sponsors, friends or family, or just anything else you'd like to add to the show, the floor is yours, brother.
Thank you, well, Saul. Carnitas El Calentano. He's great. You know, sponsor. He's always there. He for anything we need. I mean, he's a good friend. Thank you, Carnitas El Calentano. Robert Hernandez, thank you. You know, my dad, my brother, everyone. You know, just all the fans, the supporters. I want to thank everyone. I mean, I do it for everyone to put in a good shows when I fight. I mean, thank you guys.
And you promise me next time you come on the show, you're not going to be so nervous, bro?
Now I'll be more. It's the first time I ever done a interview this long.
It didn't even seem like an hour, did it?
No, it didn't. I mean, but it was. It was a little. I mean, a little nervous.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We'll get it a better one the next time. Hey, man, go out there and show the world who you
All
are,
right.
Wedo. Go show the world and make your family proud. You sure have made a fan out of me, and
Thank
I
you. I
respect
appreciate it.
you. And hey, God bless you, brother, and God bless your family. And let me know when your next fight is, and we'll bring you back on the show.
You got it, man. I thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Hey,
All right.
gracias, amigo. All right, brother.
Bye.
Bye. Well, you know what happens? You know, these fighters come on here, and you guys see them on TV. They see so composed, and but when you get them on one-on-one, they get nervous. And you know, some people will say, you know, well, that wasn't a very good show. It's hard when you get a young green fighter. But you know what? If we don't give them opportunities, when they have bigger opportunities, then why are we here? We have to get these young fighters ready for their big moments. And like Paul Driscoll says, you know, stay focused, stay driven, keep that tunnel vision, everlasting the new. I believe that in this young man, but you know, when you're caught in situations like this, I mean, I've interviewed some of the greatest fighters that ever stepped in a ring. I've photographed some of the greatest fighters that ever fought in boxing, but you know, people got to understand that just because what you see on TV doesn't mean when it's a one-on-one situation that it's going to be that easy. You know, I had a fighter on last week, a young up-and-coming fighter, 170 amateur fights, 5-0 and one as a pro, and he was just as nervous. But you got to give them their opportunities now. You got to let the world see who they are now, and give them the time on the shows. They might not turn out to be the greatest shows, but it's a moment that will help him move forward in his career because you know you got to give these guys interview skills, and that's the problem with a lot of these big media. agencies out there is they don't want to give these young fighters opportunities on their show. I would rather have someone like him on my show than I would a legend or a world champion. These mean more to me than any other shows that I do. And Giovanni says, "Amen for that." Well, you know what? We've got to give the future their time. You know, the legends and champions have already had their opportunity to shine, so we have to do that for the youth. Uh, yeah, he does. It remind me of Julio Tenori. Uh, man, but Julio, man, that was a war in Denver. Uh, I still can't believe that fight. That fight will have sit in my heart forever. But I don't want to, thank Robert Hernandez and Ramon Estrada for making this happen. I know this interview didn't probably turn out the way a lot of you guys expected it to, but it's kind of hard when you're sitting on the other side. Like he wasn't. You get nervous, and that's what I'm trying to say. The next time he comes on the show, he'll be a little bit more comfortable. He'll be a little bit more relaxed because he knows who I am. But it's the longest interview he's ever done, and I think he did well. Oh, so with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I know it probably wasn't the show that you were expecting because of his nervousness and his short answers, but it takes a lot of courage and heart and determination to come on a show with a stranger and show the world who you truly are. With that being said, I want to thank you all. Have a good night and God bless.